What's up, everybody? It's Manga King here. Just to explain, the reason why I don't read a lot of manga is because I want to collect the manga. I want to actually have the manga in my hand so that I can actually read it. Because reading online right now is kind of boring. Like, I prefer to have the volumes in my hand. That's why I'm selling my manga when it comes out in April. I'm selling it on Amazon so that people can buy that stuff and actually hold that stuff in their hand. There hasn't been any anime that have really sparked my interest as far as their intriguing storylines and whatnot. I would have been happy if they made a Vinland Saga anime, like Vinland Saga. Like, they need to do Vinland Saga or do Vagabond or do Blade of the Immortal and do it right. I like historical dramas and psychological thrillers. Moving forward, I would like to talk about something that I have been watching, and it's not an anime, it's not a manga. Comes on FX, and it is by far one of the best series that has come out this year that I have watched, and that series is Legion by Marvel. I know what you guys are thinking. Marvel, man. Marvel, really? Logan is gonna be something promising because I've seen a trailer to Logan, and it seems like it'll be really, really good. But Legion, okay, Legion is legit. Okay, it's about who is considered to be the strongest mutant within, or most versatile mutant within the Marvel universe. He is the son of Charles Xavier, but he doesn't know that, okay? And the thing that makes this very interesting is that Legion's ability, how they work is that he has multiple personality disorder, and each of his abilities is personified by a different personality. So if he had the ability to manipulate time and space, that would be one of his personalities. He had the ability to pyrokinesis or telekinesis. All these different things have a personification in his mind. And I've seen Civil War and all the old Spider-Man movies and every other X-Men movie, and most of them are action dramas, and they're not bad, but they're not good, okay? They're not necessarily what I'm into, okay? The one action drama that I've seen done by Marvel that I really like was Amazing Spider-Man. Now, that was good, but that was on part of the actors and the fact that they gave, more insight into Spider-Man's past, Peter Parker's parents' past. I was happy that we got more insight into that. It's filmed from the perspective of Legion's, it's filmed from his psyche. You get to see the inside of Legion's mind, David Waller's mind. You get to see into the way he thinks, the way he sees things. You get to hear the voices in his head. It's basically filmed from his perspective, so the plot is very jumbled, it's all over the place, but it all kind of works together. It kind of reminds me of 20th Century Boys in that respect, because in 20th Century Boys, plot moves forward, but it's jumbled together in all these different events from the present, the future, and the past. So it kind of flows as the different timelines are starting to flow together. But because of the fact that you also have this dynamic dealing with, when he was younger, the fact that his abilities, people just thought he was schizophrenic, especially in the parts of his age where his power was starting to mature and develop. He wasn't maturing and developing as his powers were maturing and developing. So his powers could be fully matured by now, and he is so far behind trying to catch up and actually learn how to use them and learn the full extent of what they are, because we as the audience don't know, and he doesn't know. And I like the fact that they film it so much so to the point where you feel like you're learning more about the series alongside with David Waller Legion. You're learning more about Legion's character as he's learning more about himself. And I like the fact that because it's jumbled together and you go to the different plot timelines, and not just are you going through the different timelines, but Legion's going through the different timelines in his own mind, you get to see his past and how it directly correlates with his personality by how he acts and how he observes things. He seems like he's a very closed off person, and it seems almost like it's sort of that Kaneki Ken type of situation where he's purposely forgetting moments in his past and editing his memory so that he can just completely forget about these different aspects within himself that cause him to be triggered. So he's forgetting these things so that he doesn't activate his powers, because his powers, he feels like they're taking away his ability to be normal. And because they're taking away his ability to be normal, he doesn't want to have to associate with them. But now that he's around other mutants, they're starting to push that. And because for so long he was suppressing them, it's going to take a lot of effort for him to actually learn how to use them. And not just his abilities aren't the only interesting thing within this. We also have the lady who played April from Parks and Recreation. I love her character, okay? She's just so funny. She has this sort of lightheartedness, yet dark undertone to her character that makes the whole series thus far. It's only been 2 episodes out. It just makes it more interesting. Each episode is an hour and 30 minutes. So each episode is like you're watching a movie in and of itself. And that's the one thing I like it. They film it a lot like it's a movie. It doesn't feel like you're watching a show. It feels like you're watching a film. They have the, beginning and the title cards. So because of this fact, it's very entertaining to watch, and it just feels like you can just be entranced and grabbed into the world of Legion. One major aspect of the story that I have mad questions about is the yellow-eyed creature within the story. Okay, this little yellow-eyed fat dude who's really, really freaking creepy, who shows up out of nowhere, and I have different predictions involving this guy. It's all over the place. I feel like he is the physical personification of all the destructive aspects of Legion's abilities. Potential destructive power involving his telekinetic abilities. I feel like that's what the yellow-eyed creature represents, but I fully don't know. That's just a prediction. Write in the comment section below what you think the yellow-eyed creature is. What do you think that is? So much to talk about involving Legion. Like in the second episode, we saw a whole situation pertaining to, his father, and we see 2 different sides of his father. Even though we don't really get a full characterization, we don't even see his face, but we get to see what type of person his father is. His father was an astronomer, and he also read him this very, very weird book, like The Angriest Boy in the World. And he was reading this book. He was scaring David when he was a kid, because this boy was in this book was basically insane and was talking about killing his mom. I'm like, what the crap? And it was really jacked up, and it's just really good, okay? It's really good. These are just my thoughts. It's not really a full-on review. It's my first impressions based off of the first 2 episodes. First 2 episodes are really, really good. I would suggest this not just to comic book fans, but to fans of cinematography, because it's filmed really, 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 really nicely and really, really clean. And not just is it filmed really nicely and very, very clean, you also get these, the way it's edited, the time jumps from present to past. Like I've said before, all these different elements. The characters so far in it are really, really interesting. We got the black dude, I don't know his name, who has the ability to basically go through people's memories. He can go through his own memories. He has basically memory manipulation. And then you had that lady who's a telepath, of course. And then you had that girl who has another interesting ability where basically if she touches you, she switches spaces with you. And that opened up a whole new world of craziness in the first episode when she switched places with Legion, when they switched bodies. And when she was in Legion's body, she couldn't control the full extent of his powers, because Legion, he's trained himself to suppress his powers, thinking that they were just psychological issues. So he took his medicines and he trained himself to suppress his powers for so long. This girl was given his powers, and like the lady said, what's her name? April said, I'm just gonna call her April since I don't remember her character's name. Like April said in the episode, if you give a newbie a bazooka, they're gonna blow crap up. And she basically just she basically went insane, because those powers were so strong, her mind could not handle it. So she can't touch him she can't touch him. And the weird thing is that they're inside of a relationship little thing going on. and I'm just interested to see how where that's gonna go. It's just so many elements, and it's so much fun to watch, and I can't suggest it enough. Whenever you can, just turn on FX and watch an episode of Legion, and come back and tell me your thoughts on this series. Anyway, that's it for today. Peace out.